So I asked you guys in the community post how many hours you study roughly, and around 40% of you said you study 1 to 3 hours a day, which is actually really good. I'm able to study 2 to 3 hours on school days and 3 to 4 hours on the weekend, and so in total I can study more or less 20 hours in a week. And so I wanted to make this video to explain to you how you can study for these long hours as well, and with deep focus, so you can study really effectively. Planning is so crucial before you start your studying because it gives you a direction to work towards. So you can plan what subjects you're going to cover, which topics more specifically, and most importantly, what difficulty of those subjects. For me, I like to start off with the easier tasks first because it gives me that extra boost of motivation when I complete those easier tasks. So then when I go on to the harder tasks, they seem less challenging. And I don't plan for my tasks weeks in advance unless I have major exams coming up. I only plan the night before on this whiteboard, and I have a to-do list where I have all the tasks that I'm going to do, and I tick them off as I go along throughout the day. And for me, this is much more effective than just having your plans inside your head, because with the physical tasks you have them right in front of you, and so you can be more strict with yourself in order to complete those assignments by the end of the day. You can also use apps like Tick, which is a productivity app that can help you organize your day by having a virtual to-do list. Distractions are what hold us back from studying up to our maximum potential, and it is natural, but there are ways to reduce the rate of a student's procrastination. For example, just get your phone as far away from you as possible whilst you're studying, because we all know a phone is every student's main source of distraction. So if you can get that phone away from you whilst you're studying, then I can guarantee you'll complete the amount of tasks that you expected to complete really quickly, and so you'll have the remaining time left to complete more tasks, and so you're doing more than what you expected. But if you do somehow manage to procrastinate without having your phone, then you can just use some distraction blocker websites like Serene, Freedom, and Cold Turkey, which can restrict access to apps and sites like YouTube and TikTok, and these will all be linked in the description for you to check out. So I know I've talked about using the Pomodoro Technique on this channel whilst you're studying, but if I'm being honest, there is one major flaw whilst you're using this technique, and that is that, you know, that 5-minute break that you're supposed to have, that will most definitely turn into a 30-minute YouTube session. And so now I would recommend you to study as long as you can in certain blocks. For example, nowadays I study in 2-hour blocks because I know 2 hours is the limit for my effective studying, and then I take an appropriate break. And for you, it can be completely different because it's all about your studying. So it could even be 20 minutes for a certain block. And if you do want to increase that to longer hours of studying within a certain amount of time, you can just increase it gradually every single day by 5 minutes. So you can adapt to studying for longer hours. My final tip is to find motivation for what you're studying, because if you don't know why you want to study, then it really won't help you to study with those long sessions. And so find out why you want to study. Is it to get good grades in order to impress your parents? Is it to get into a good university, to get into the sixth form that you want to? Or is it just generally get a good job later on in your life? And once you know this reason, it'll really help you because it'll improve your brain's attitude towards learning and studying. And then in conclusion, you'll be able to study for longer hours because you have that motivation behind you. These are basically all the tips that I use to increase the amount of hours I study. Of course, not every day is a 3-hour study with me, but I try to study for as long as possible. And I also know that quantity is not as good as quality, but if you're not able to study for those longer hours, then your quality won't improve. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, do leave a like and subscribe, because my goal for 2022 is 5,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.